Hey, it's Tara with Reiki on the Run. If you have not watched the Practical Power Up how-to video before watching this, please watch that first. So welcome. Today's Practical Power Up is observing your thoughts. If you do not currently meditate, you may not be aware of your thoughts on a very deep level. If you've heard of mindfulness but aren't really sure what it is, it's just observing your thoughts. Not judging them or getting emotionally involved, just acting like a third party, observing them and letting them pass. And that's what we're going to do today. Just observe them without judgment or attachment. And this can be hard sometimes because we are used to getting emotionally involved, and that's where we get in trouble. Instead of just letting a thought pass through without even realizing it, we latch on, think more similar thoughts, and then comes the momentum. And if it's not a favorable thought, which a lot aren't, we are suddenly entrenched in negativity for no reason and through no fault but our own, because we do actually have control of our thoughts. While the thoughts might just randomly pop up, we do have the power to focus our thoughts elsewhere and not allow that momentum to build. But we have to be aware of them first. And I'm going to include a link to a great less than 2-minute animated explanation of thoughts and mindfulness in the description box below if you wanted to check it out. It's a really simple, helpful tool. We know that we don't have to be in a situation currently to experience pain. We can merely think of something from the past and it's like it's happening to us at that moment. My mother passed away almost 15 years ago, but if I wanted to, I could start thinking right now of how much I miss her and how unfair it is that she isn't here. And then other thoughts like that would come, and next thing you know, I am upset and crying and in pain. I shouldn't be in pain. Nothing is happening to me in that present moment, but because I allow the thoughts to have control, my body will think it's happening and the misery will commence. Now, this can also happen with things that haven't happened, maybe a worry about the future that will cause the same pain. I could start thinking how much it sucks that I'm single. My next thought would be that I'll probably never find someone. And then the next thing you know, I'm upset because I feel I'm doomed to be alone forever. Now, I haven't actually ended up alone forever, but my body doesn't know that because my thoughts create feelings and emotions without the problem being real or happening currently. I only have to think about it. And this is how we create our reality. Since we think so much and our thoughts create how we feel, we just have to pay attention to what we're thinking and change it. The first step is to observe your thoughts, and that's what we're going to do. According to scientists and Dr. Joe Dispenza, an amazing man and researcher who studies thoughts and emotions and their effect on our being, we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts each day. Out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts, 90% of them are the same thoughts you thought the day before. Because our thoughts lead to our feelings and emotions, which lead to how we experience our reality, it's extremely important to pay attention to our thoughts. Until I did this, I had no idea how often I was thinking certain things and how negative they were in general. It's hard to change your reality without changing your thoughts. And you can't change your thoughts until you realize what they are. Because we think the same thoughts every day, we become used to our thoughts and we don't even notice them. And then they become automatic and we can't change them unless we pay attention to them. Another benefit of observing your thoughts is to realize that you are not your thoughts. Sometimes we think we are our thoughts, but something amazing happens when you become the observer of your thoughts. When you realize you can step outside of yourself and watch your thoughts without becoming attached. You realize you are not your thoughts, which helps to not get so emotionally involved in them. So here are 4 quotes from a book by Eckhart Tolle that changed my life, The Power of Now, that I think will be helpful for today's exercise. I've included a link to the book in the description box below if you're interested in looking into it more. Another good book on this topic is The Untethered Soul, which I've also linked below. The Power of Now is pretty deep, so if you're looking for an easier read on the subject, I would go with The Untethered Soul. So number 1, your mind is an instrument, a tool. It is there to be used for a specific task, and when the task is completed, you lay it down. As it is, I would say about 80 to 90% of most people's thinking is not only repetitive and useless, but because of its dysfunctional and often negative nature, much of it is also harmful. Observe your mind and you will find this to be true. It causes a serious leakage of vital energy. This kind of compulsive thinking is actually an addiction. What characterizes an addiction? Quite simply this: you no longer feel that you have the choice to stop. It seems stronger than you. It also gives you a false sense of pleasure that invariably turns into pain. 2, whenever you are able to observe your mind, you are no longer trapped in it. Another factor has come in, something that is not of the mind, the witnessing presence. 3, when you listen to a thought, you are aware not only of the thought, but also of yourself as the witness of the thought. A new dimension of consciousness has come in. 4, not to be able to stop thinking is a dreadful affliction, but we don't realize this because almost everybody is suffering from it, so it is considered normal. So why would we want to do this? What can we learn from observing our thoughts? Well, if you want to change your life, it starts with your thinking, plain and simple. We cannot change what we are not aware of. We do have the power to focus on what we want. As a habit, the same negative thoughts will come up. That's to be expected. But once you are aware of them, you can purposely shift your focus. Maybe focus on the better, more positive things you want. Maybe just focusing on what is happening right in front of you and being present. But you do have the power to focus on what you want after realizing you've been focusing on what you don't. It doesn't matter what body position you are in for this exercise. You just need a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. The exercise will last for 10 minutes. Keep your eyes open and focus on the flame, or close your eyes and imagine a flame in your mind. Try to keep your focus on the flame, and your thoughts will just naturally pop up. You'll hear a bell go off every minute. When you hear this bell, you will do 2 things. 1, you'll take note of where your mind went, what you're thinking of as soon as you hear the bell. Now, don't judge the thought. We're not here to get mad at ourselves or to try to figure out why we're thinking these things. No judgment at all. Allow it to just be what it is. Just note what you were thinking about. The second thing you want to do when you hear the bell is to renew your goal of focusing on the flame and forgetting about the last thought you had. We will do this for 10 minutes so you can get a good idea of the thoughts automatically popping up on a regular basis. Please take the time to complete the full 10 minutes. It may feel like an eternity if you're not used to meditating, but it will be very eye-opening. When should you use this practice and how often? It's important to be mindful as often as possible. Try it for a day, all day, and you'll see an enormous change that it will have in your life, and I feel like you'll continue to do it. Just remember when you get sucked into worries or regrets to do this exercise, and it'll allow you to shift back into a better place. And remember, you can always do this on your own. You don't need me or this video to practice this. You are your own guru, and I'm just showing you the method. Now would be a good time for you to pause the video if you are not already situated. So let's go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. Go ahead and set your intention. Just say to yourself out loud or in your head that you intend to observe your thoughts without judgment for your best and highest good. Now go ahead and begin. We are complete. Namaste.